guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sheila. Today we're going to be learning how to make the shelly skirt with a mesh detail at the bottom of it. So the materials you'll need are a 4mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a measuring tape, and yarn. And for the yarn, I'm going to be using Robin 100% acrylic, and I'm going to be doubling the strand. But if you have any yarn that recommends a 4mm crochet hook or 3.75 or 3.5, you can use that. And if you have any weight 3 yarn, it can also do. So let's get into the video. So we're going to start off with a measurement of around our hips. So if your hip size is, let me say 40 inches, you're going to make a chain that is 40 inches, that stretches to 40 inches. Keep that in mind when stretched. So I'm going to go ahead and make my chain. For me, it was 120 chains. So let me go ahead and do that. You'll start off with a slip knot, and then you will make your chain. Alright, so now that I have my chain that stretches to 40 inches or your hip measurement, you're going to make sure this chain is not twisted. You're going to go along the chain, and then we're going to go into the very first chain with a slip stitch. So you're going to insert your hook in this very first chain that you did, yarn over, pull through, and pull through this very last loop. And now we're going to start working in rounds. We're no longer working in rows. So we're going to round 1, and we're going to chain up 3, and we're going to place 1 double crochet in each and every chain all the way around. So 1 double crochet. A double crochet is yarn over, insert your hook in the next chain, yarn over, pull through. Then you'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through the last 2. So that's a double crochet. We are going to continue working this all the way around until the very last chain, which will be this. So I'm going to go all the way around, placing 1 double crochet. And I forgot to mention, this chain should be a multiple of 5, so it should be perfectly divisible by 5. So it can be 120, 125, 130, so any number that's divisible by 5. So continue to place 1 double crochet in each and every chain, and I'll see you guys when we have that ready, and then we shall be ready to go to round 2. So I've gone all the way around, placing 1 double crochet in each and every chain, as you can see, and I've placed my very last double crochet in the last chain. And the number of stitches that you should have for round 1 should be the same exact number of chains that you did in the beginning, because we've placed 1 stitch in each and every chain. So if you had 120 chains, you should have 120 double crochets, since the chain 3 counts as a stitch. So make sure you cross check that. So after every last stitch, you go on top of the chain 3 and slip stitch, make a slip stitch there. And this is the end of round 1. And now we're going to round 2, and we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then place 1 more double crochet in there, in the same stitch where we placed the slip stitch. Then chain up 2 and place 2 more stitches in that same exact stitch. So we're introducing the shells on round 2, and a shell for this pattern is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. So after this, you're going to chain up 3 and skip 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th you're going to place a shell. So 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets in that very stitch, like that. You can see the shell is placed in 1 stitch. So chain up 3, skip the next 4 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th place 2 double crochets, chain 2, and place 2 more double crochets in that same exact stitch. So this is the repeat for this row. Chain 3, skip 4 stitches, and into the 5th place 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets, chain 3, skip 4 stitches, and into the 5th 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. So that's the repeat for this round. I'm going to go all the way around doing this same exact thing. Remember, it's chain 3 and then skip 4 stitches at the bottom, and into the 5th you're going to place your shell into the 5th stitch after skipping the 4 stitches at the bottom. So go all the way around and I'll meet you guys at this point. Okay, so I've gone all the way around and I've placed my very last shell before I make the slip stitch. So you should have 4 stitches left to skip. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I'm going to chain my 3 and slip stitch into the very first double crochet that I made. And now that rounds off round 2, and now we're going to round 3, and this is the round that you're going to keep repeating until you get the length that you need to cover with the shell pattern. So you'll slip stitch into the next double crochet and then slip stitch into the chain 2 space. So that will happen for every single row that you do, every single round. So you slip stitch until you're in this gap, then chain up 3, place 1 more double crochet, so the chain 3 counts as a stitch. So place 1 more double crochet to make a total of 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets in that very shell. So at this moment we've placed a shell in a shell. So chain up 3, place a shell in the next shell, and the way we do that is just by placing 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets in the chain 2 space of the shell below. So this is what we are going to keep repeating. Chain 3, go into the next shell with a shell, so 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. So you're going to go all the way around until you get here. Then when you get here, do the same exact thing that we did at this level. Slip stitch until you get into the chain 2 space, chain up 3, double crochet again in that same space to make a total of 2 double crochets, chain 2, place 2 more double crochets. Then that means you'll have placed a shell in this shell, then chain 3, place a shell here, chain 3, place a shell. So this pattern keeps repeating itself, and it's very easy to follow once you get the first round of shells done. So you're going to go ahead and make as many rows as you need to get the length of the skirt for the shelly pattern. Then after that we shall go on to the mesh part. So I'll let you know how many rows I'll do, and then we pick it up from there. I'll show you what to do next after that. Okay, so here we are. I'm back, and I decided to switch a color because I was running out of white yarn. But your project should look like this. So I did a total of 23 rows, 23 rounds of shells. So that means we have a total of 24 rounds, including this very first row of double crochets. So I did this round, and then I did a total of 23 rounds of shells. And now we're going to start doing something different. You're going to attach your yarn in any space, any chain 3 space. So we shall start off with a slip knot and attach your yarn in any chain 3 space. So I'll attach here and then chain up 3, go back in that space with one more double crochet. So the chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Then you're going to chain 9 and then go into the next chain 3 space, and then you're going to chain up 9 and go into the next chain 3 space with 2 double crochets. So every chain 3 space will get 2 double crochets, and then we shall chain up 9 and then go into the next space with 2 double crochets. So we are skipping over the shells. We are no longer working anything in them, as you can see this, and that's the repeat for this whole round. Go all the way around doing the same exact thing. And then I'll meet you guys when we are at this point, and then I'll let you know what to do from there. So I've come to my very last space, and now I'll chain up 9 and then go into this space between these the first 2 double crochets and place a slip stitch, and that's what you'll have. And then you'll go into this space with 4 slip stitches. So these are 3 and then 4, a total of 4 slip stitches in this space, just to move into the middle section of the chain. Then chain up 3 and then double crochet again in that very space, because the chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Then we're going to do the same exact thing, chain 9 and double crochet twice in the chain 9 space. We're not double crocheting in any stitch, we're going into the spaces. So chain 9, go into the next chain 9 space and place a total of 2 double crochets. Chain 9, double crochet twice in the next chain 9 space. So this is the effect it's creating, and we're going to go all the way around. And when you get to the very last chain 9 space of this round, you're going to place your 2 double crochets here, chain 9, and then slip stitch in between these 2 stitches, and then I'll show you where to go from there. So here I am at the end of the round, sorry, and I've chained my 9, and I'll go into these 2 double crochets with a slip stitch, and then I'll chain up 1 and turn my work. And you're going to be doing this for every other row, because we want to turn every after one row, so that we have the seam line at the back or in one straight line. So slip stitch for a total of 4 times, just like we did for the previous row. So after slip stitching in this chain 9 space, you're going to chain up 3 and then double crochet in that very space, and then chain up 9 and then go into the next chain 9 space with a total of 2 double crochets. So this is what you'll have. So don't forget, every time you reach the end of the row, you're going to slip stitch, chain 1 and then turn. You keep working in the opposite direction of the previous row. So we're going to do this until you get the length of the skirt that you want. I know this is going to be like basing on the height of the person you're making this skirt for. I won't dictate how many rows you'll do, but you're going to keep doing this until your skirt builds up to the length that you want, and then it will have this mesh effect at the bottom. And then the next thing you will do is to make a basic chain of around 250 chains to 300 chains, and then it's going to go into the very first row that we did, the row of double crochets. So we're going to go in and out of every 2 stitches and then put our drawstring. This will help us gather the skirt together, since we based on the hips to create this skirt. So it's most likely that at the end of this skirt the waist area will be bigger, since we based on our hip measurement. So we're putting a drawstring so that it can gather everything together, so that we have a better fitting for our waist. So in and out of every 2 stitches. So that's what I'm going to do all the way around until I get to this part. So the easiest way to do this is to count. Let me show you. You count 8 stitches in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then after the 8th stitch, put your hook down and then come up after 2 stitches, go down after 2 stitches, go up after 2 stitches. Then you put your string through and pull through. So just make sure you don't tamper with the stitches. Go in, out, then grab the drawstring and pull it through. Okay, so I'm almost coming to the end, and this is my very last part. and I've put it through. And this is how your skirt should look like. It should be adjustable when it comes to the waist area, and then this part of the hips should be bigger than the upper part of the waist when you pull the drawstring. And this is how the skirt should look like. And then the other thing is you can attach tassels. I think I'm going to do a full video of how to make nice tassels for your drawstrings. And then yeah, that's the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys liked it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and make sure to subscribe to my channel to get more interesting videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day. Bye.